On March 23rd, the container ship ever given was on a trip from Malaysia to Netherlands. Nothing unusual. The Taiwanese company has completed hundreds if not thousands such journeys before. In order to save time and fuel, ships often take the Suez Canal, paying huge fees. This route is so important that over 12% of world trade passes through this canal. So if something hypothetically goes wrong in this canal, you can imagine the magnitude of damage it could potentially cause. Well, that's exactly what happened on March 23rd. The 400 meters long and 59 meters wide ship has blocked the path of other vessels that carry everything from consumer products to beverages. The problem with the Suez Canal is that there is no alternatives. Ship would have to take the long journey across the entire African continent, which means higher transportation costs, which means higher prices. If 2020 brought us COVID, 2021 was about to destroy one of the most important shipping routes in the world. What do you think is going to happen in 2022? I don't even want to think about it. What matters at the end of the day is what stocks do you hold in your portfolio, because no matter what happens, someone is going to jump in and take advantage out of that crisis, no matter how bad the crisis is. And if you're going to be one of the shareholders of that company, you're going to benefit from it. Here in this video, I would like to share with you some of my favorite stocks that I'm carefully watching. So give this video a thumbs up and let's get right into it. Number 1. Zoom. Zoom has become one of the best performing stocks of 2020. Everyone knew that it was the stock they should have invested in on the first day when you heard the news of a lockdown. Because on the same day when everyone had to stay at home, they had to somehow connect with their friends, colleagues, and everyone started Googling the best video calling app. Of course, we had options like Skype and others, but the question is, how did Zoom step out of the competition? What made Zoom better than the rest? Why did people choose to use Zoom and not any other video conferencing app? You see, platforms like Skype have been created for voice calls. When video calling started becoming popular, they just integrated video options into their systems. However, that wasn't the case with Zoom, because the entire system from ground zero was built to make video conferencing as smooth as possible. The platform was initially built to give users the best possible video experience. If you have ever used Zoom, you know what I'm talking about. It has all these cool features integrated within it that makes it the best platform to conduct meetings. And if you want someone to join the meeting, all you have to do is send them a link. It's as simple as that. Just to give you an idea of how fast Zoom has been growing lately, in 2019, it had around 10 million active users. In 2021, it has over 300 million active users. That's a huge increase in such a short period of time. It seems like Eric Yuan, who is the CEO of Zoom, has been preparing for such an opportunity his entire life. No one, of course, expected that a global pandemic would hit the world so hard. That's why other companies couldn't come up with a quick solution, and Zoom literally conquered the entire market. However, as more people are getting vaccinated, people are worried that Zoom is going to become irrelevant. People would go back to offices and things will get back to normal, and we will no longer need Zoom to conduct meetings. Even the stock hasn't fully recovered since the recent correction. It's down by almost 40% since October 2020 and 20% since February. The question is, will people stop using Zoom and get back to normal meetings, or it's just the beginning of video conferences? The answer to this question will help us to understand whether Zoom is going to become one day a $1 trillion company or not. If you ask me, this shift to video conferences should have happened sooner or later. It was not a matter if it's going to happen, but when, and the pandemic simply accelerated that process. As life gets back to normal, people will get back to offices, but not like it was before the pandemic. Many companies have already told their employees that even after the pandemic, they don't need to come to the office every single day, but can do their job perfectly fine from home, and coming to the office twice or thrice a week is enough. Secondly, companies used to spend fortunes on corporate flights. Executives would spend millions every year just to fly to different cities to conduct meetings. If you take a look at the aviation industry, A big chunk of their profits used to come from corporate flights, but 2020 has taught us that companies can save millions by simply getting a Zoom subscription. Not to say that companies won't fly their employees again, but that's definitely going to decrease. Video conferencing is this next step in globalization, where we can conduct meetings, start projects without physically being in one place. So I think it's just the beginning for Zoom, and in the next few years, the stock is going to grow significantly. The second company that seems really promising is Square. I'm an investor in this company, so I could be a little biased. That's a disclaimer. And there's one company everyone wished they invested in before the pandemic besides Zoom, then it's Square. It might not be popular on Twitter or other social media, but its stock has been growing like there is no tomorrow. Since December 2020, the stock has grown by over 330%. Where else would you get such a return? One of the co-founders of the company is Jack Dorsey, the guy who co-founded Twitter. Using his experience in Twitter, he grew Square faster than you can imagine. It started as a peer-to-peer transaction app, nothing serious, but it can now be the center of your digital financial universe. You can use Square literally for everything. Consumers can use it to buy and sell stocks, deposit paychecks, buy Bitcoin, and pay businesses for goods and services. And that's just one part of their business, because the other part is businesses. You see, in order to accept credit cards, businesses usually had to purchase gadgets, set up everything, and then pay a little fee out of every transaction, which might be a struggle for small businesses who are just trying to get on their feet, where every penny makes a difference. That's when Square comes into the picture. The founders realize that your phone or tablet already has all the tools it needs to read a credit card. All that is left for it is an extra tool to swipe that card, which they started shipping to small businesses for free. But in return, they would charge a tiny fee out of every transaction, a fee that's smaller than what Visa, for example, charges. Suddenly, a small business could start accepting credit cards for no upfront cost. On top of that, businesses had access to a dashboard where they could view all of their data to make better financial decisions. But that data was shared with Square. Since everyone uses credit cards nowadays and cash is slowly disappearing, Square knows how good these businesses are performing. It has access to all of their transactions, so it started also acting like a bank, giving small loans to small businesses. Square can also make a more accurate decision whether loaning to this company is a good idea or not, because it has access to their transactions. It has already provided loans worth billions of dollars, and it's even selling these loans in form of securities to other institutional investors. Its Cash app, which allows people to send and receive money, also been growing at a tremendous speed and has already around 40 million users. The pandemic forced even small businesses to entirely stop accepting cash, which only pushed more small businesses to use Square. The company is already valued at over $100 billion, and it might seem like there is little room for it left to grow, but I think it can compete with Visa on a much bigger scale and still grow. If you have enjoyed this video, you will most definitely enjoy this custom playlist that I have created specifically for you that has our most popular videos on business, investing, and the stock market that could potentially change your life. And don't forget to check out our second channel, Bloom. The link will be in the description. I will see you guys there. And now give this video a thumbs up that it deserves, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.